Community Center in Chester, Montana. Tonight, we'll hear from the National Transportation Safety Board for the first time on their investigation of the Amtrak derailment.
It's been a record-breaking wildfire year, not just out west, but across the country. Coming up, we look at the fight for more resources to prevent the next great wildfire.
Happy Tuesday, Southwest Montana, 6:30. Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell.
You almost said 5:30. I
don't know what is happening there. That time thing is hard for me. The flag blowing there lightly on the Montana State University campus, better than it had been for sometimes during the night.
We're going to be dealing with some gusty winds again this afternoon. You can see the smoke and the haze and a little bit of moisture starting to move into the area early this morning. Looks like the afternoon should be at least bringing us some cloud cover, maybe some rain showers. Moderate air quality for Bozeman and West Yellowstone, good in Dillon and West Butte. I'll get it all out. You struggle with time, I struggle with the words.
Well, together we're just the perfect team.
We may not get through this whole thing if we're working together. 41 in Butte, 44 in Belgrade, 27 in West Yellowstone. Afternoon bringing some cooler temperatures. We'll only top out into the 60s in Bozeman. Probably see only 50s in Butte for today.
Wow.
Much needed rain on the way. We'll talk about how much coming up in just a few minutes, maybe.
So what time is it now?
Right now it's 6:31.
Thank you. That way I didn't have to do it. I appreciate that. Our top story this half hour. National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB, is now in Liberty County, Montana, to begin its investigation of Saturday's Amtrak crash that killed 3 people. NTSB investigators say there were routine inspections just days before the tragedy on this tracks. Westbound train was on its way from Chicago to Seattle when it derailed near Joplin. It was carrying approximately 141 passengers, 17 crew members. MTN's Asher Line picks up the story.
There is much more activity up here in Liberty County as the NTSB has begun their investigation of the Amtrak derailment, but there is still plenty of questions to be answered, including why the train derailed in the first place. This was the first full day of the NTSB investigation of the Amtrak derailment. Officials estimate the crash site is about 500 yards in total. They also have not ruled anything out as to what caused the crash. Officials said they plan on being at the site for about a week and should have a preliminary report available within the next 30 days. Officials said it is a possibility that passengers were ejected from the train, as it has happened in previous crashes, and that they will look into it, as the locomotive did have a black box with a camera on it.
We have experts that are studying the camera footage frame by frame to make sure that we see exactly what the engineer saw or maybe didn't see. The locomotive recorder has given us the speeds of somewhere between 75 and 78 miles per hour. Our job is strictly to gather the facts and make the best possible assessment.
NTSB said they are working as quick and effective as possible, as there are trains delayed on both ends of the crash. The investigation is still active, and we will update you if we get more information. In Liberty County, Asher Line, MTN News.
Now let's take a look at some incidents on this. According to the Bureau of Transportation Statistics, in 2020, there were 1,519 train accidents. That's for freight and passenger trains. Of those, 1,047 were derailments, 91 were collisions, and 381 were classified as other accidents. During that same time, there was just 1 fatality and 67 injuries.
The roots of the Empire Builder train and the rail line that it runs on go back to Montana's early days as a state.
The railroads basically built Montana.
The line across northern Montana was built in the 1880s and 1890s by the Great Northern Railway. Dan Stinson is part of the Western Montana Railroad Historical Association. He says the passengers coming in on the line immediately reshaped that part of the state.
And one of the important things for the railroads was that the railroads brought settlers. The railroads wanted people to live along the lines, to use it for trade, to use it for travel. And so transportation was often the driving force early.
The Empire Builder began as a name for Great Northern's premier trains between Chicago and Seattle and Portland. In 1971, Amtrak took over the service. For the last 40 years, it's been the only Amtrak train running through Montana after the southern route was discontinued. Stinson says the Empire Builder remains an important corridor for the High Line.
Buses are almost non-existent. Flights out of the High Line are almost non-existent, so they're reliant on the railroads, especially lower income people and retired people.
Stinson says he's not aware of any accidents like this on the line for at least a decade.
That line is very heavily used and very heavily maintained. To have any kind of an accident at all is really unusual. It's really sad anytime there's a loss of life. Luckily, the locals came together and did the things Montanans do best when it gets tough, is rescued people.
Stinson says while the work on the track continues, it's possible that some high-priority freight trains may be redirected through Helena. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
6:35 and other news this morning. Just east of Butte, firefighters stopped a wildfire in its tracks on Sunday. Blaze shut down the interstate for a while before it was extinguished. Now crews continue to watch for hotspots. MTN's John Amy reports.
The U.S. Forest Service continues to monitor what it's calling the Moose Fire, which is burning on Homestake Pass, just south of Interstate 90, east of Butte. The fire, which was reported Sunday afternoon, burnt up about 28 acres just east of the Homestake exit. Firefighters attacked the wildfire from the air using helicopters with water buckets and an airplane that dropped fire retardant around the blaze. The only major structure that was potentially threatened by this wildfire was the Homestake Ski Lodge.
It was really scary when it first came up, and it looked quite large and like it was spreading real fast, and was convinced that we were going to burn up.
The owners of the ski lodge said they were grateful for the quick response, and none of their structures were damaged in the wildfire. And the Forest Service is continuing to monitor the area for hot spots, which could flare up with these red flag warnings.
Now, over 5.3 million acres have burned this year across the country because of wildfires. That's roughly the size of the state of New Jersey. While crews continue to battle the fires, you may be wondering what is being done to prevent the next great blaze. Our political correspondent, Jose George, with a closer look at the threat of fires coast to coast and what Congress is considering to address it.
If you think wildfires in our country are only breaking records in the West,
the risk is real.
Dave Salino, the chief fire warden in the state of Massachusetts, is here to teach you something.
This year, we've accounted for almost 850 wildfires across the state that have burned almost 1,600 acres.
In fact, Salino says Massachusetts had its largest fire in 20 years earlier this year. And when you add up all the fires from Minnesota to Maine, places that you may think fire danger is always low, new records are being set too. In the eastern region of the United States, the Forest Service reports 107,000 plus acres have burned this year, with 2,500 more fires taking place than the 10-year average. Why don't you hear more of these fires?
It's really what your perception is of a catastrophic event.
Salino says they tend to be small. They aren't burning large swaths of land like the ones in the West. But just because they're small doesn't make them any less destructive. More people live on the edges of these forests.
The fires that concern us here in the Northeast are those 10-acre, 5-acre, 10-acre fires.
As you might suspect, Salino and others would like more resources to prevent fires as opposed to just responding to them, fearing forests here could be primed for disaster.
It's a complex issue. There's nothing very simple about it.
Meet Brad Simpkins with the U.S. Forest Service. What's one thing that can be done everywhere from California to New England?
Prescribed burning.
Prescribed burning is when fires are intentionally set to an area of land to make it less flammable. Take, for instance, this land, recently charred by crews. This is what it looked like before they moved in, much denser. The area now better prepared should a spark occur. Simpkins says a lack of time and money is preventing more prescribed burning.
It takes specialized training for people to run those prescribed burns. And the same people that do a lot of the burning are the same ones that are responding to wildfires.
And this is where Congress comes in, where a debate over forest funding is unfolding.
Has our country invested enough in forests over the years?
We have not invested in forests.
Senator Michael Bennet of Colorado is chairman of the Senate subcommittee that funds forests nationwide. He and other Democrats are pushing to include $40 billion in their upcoming multi-trillion-dollar spending bill to address forest mitigation and prescribed burns.
I think it stands a very good chance of getting through. We spent $60 billion over the last 5 years fighting fires, and my point is, let's do the work up front.
While the country waits on Washington, back in the forests of Massachusetts, Simpkins says thousands of men and women in this country will continue combating fires when called upon.
Any one state, California, Montana, wherever, cannot handle those issues by themselves.
In Fall River, Massachusetts, I'm Joe St. George.
5.3 million acres this year, and still burning. 6:40, time for a break. When we come back, that volcano on an island in Spain waking up again with huge new lava flows. What it looks like? Coming up. But first, let's check in with Gail King to see what's coming up on CBS Mornings.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS Mornings, R. Kelly is guilty of sex trafficking and racketeering. We'll talk with the executive producer of the documentary Surviving R. Kelly about that verdict and what does it mean to the survivors. Plus, an exclusive interview with members of the Procter & Gamble family who say the company is putting profits before the environment. And Stevie Van Zandt gives Anthony never-before-heard details of his time with Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band and his remarkable career on stage and screen. You heard the word remarkable, that's true. And only on CBS Mornings, Oprah, there's only one, reveals the latest pick for her book club. We got a lot to say today. We'll see you at 7 o'clock. Straight up.